7:09:51 it is at half-time to 6:10:46. The Swans leading by 5 points. They kicked 2-4 to 4-7. Some quick comments from you, Bob, before we're back to the third quarter.
Yes, it was a little worrying that second term with Gary Wilson really taking over the game, and all in all the Swans game fell apart. I think they panicked a little bit. They gave away some foolish free kicks. Stephen Talbot one, Ackley another, and it wouldn't be a very happy Ricky Quaid at half-time.
All right, well, at half-time, as I said, it's 51 to 46 in favour of the Swans, and we'll be back for the second half in just a few moments.
It's 5 points the difference at half-time. The goal kickers for the Swans, Gary Frangalis has 2, and singles to Ackley, Chilcott, Morwood and Hounsell. For Fitzroy, Gary Wilson has 2 goals, and he's arguably at the moment the best player on the ground. Scott has 1, Mickey Conlon 1, Quinlan 1 and Ruse 1. Stats on the match to this stage, and let's take a look at them now. The kicks 114 to 109. The marks 25 to 39 in favour of Fitzroy. The frees 23 to 20 in favour of the Swans. 53 to 48 the handballs. The hit out 17 to 10 where the Swans are in command, and the shots at goal 16 to 17.
Sevens Big League is part of the 1984 Nissan VFL Premiership season.
So as the second quarter progressed, led by Gary Wilson, Fitzroy did start to get on top. A couple of foolish free kicks. Stephen Talbot, when he already had a free kick downfield, was nothing actually vicious about what he did. He just pushed young Williamson away, and that it was a penalty against him. It came back. It was worth a goal to Fitzroy. Then David Ackley a kick upfield, but fortunately for Ackley, Scott missed the sitter on that occasion. But one big thing to the Swans in that quarter was when Rhys Jones went off the ground. He had dominated play at centre half forward, but unfortunately for the Swans, Rhys Jones, in jumping up to go for the to try and smother a kick, collided with young Osborne's leg, and I understand that Rhys Jones pinched the nerve.
Okay, the Swans back onto the ground. The Lions will be here shortly. We'll clear commitments from all studios and be back for the resumption of play in 51 to 46. Fitzroy coming back onto the ground. Rhys Jones is on the ground. He rejoined the play at about the 25-minute mark of the second quarter, and obviously they've seen fit to send him out again, but I just thought he looked a little bit proppy, Lou, towards the end of that term.
Well, apparently it was a pinched nerve, but he looks as though he's moving quite freely now, and they badly need him because they did their game did slump the moment he was off the ground, and well, naturally didn't really get into the game when he came back on again.
Yes, they've got Brady out at centre half forward at the moment, Lou. Now, whether that's a sign that Rhys Jones might still not be 100% fit, but he is now down alongside Barry Round, forward pocket come full forward, whichever way you like to
you never know
see it these days.
No.
And Osborne has picked him up. Talbot in the ruck for the Swans. Steve Talbot doing a pretty good job at the moment too, because the Swans are ahead in the hit-out department. Umpire Geoff Morrow comes in to bounce the ball to start the second half of the match. The Swans leading by only 5 points, but they have the wind in this term. Williamson and Talbot, neither actually get the tap out. Umpire Glenn James rules on the shoulder, the free kick going to the Swans. I must admit, personally, I didn't detect any infringement there. Talbot's kick straight down the ground. Almost a mark to Chilcott, picked up by Osborne. In front is Thornton, thumped away by Mark Browning. Williamson off the ground. Chilcott, not Chilcott, but Frangara should get there first. Now it's Chilcott. Loose ball. McMahon's on for Fitzroy. He started the game on the bench. Picked up by Carter, and a nice ball too by the big Swans defender. Down towards full forward, looking for Rhys Jones. Osborne gets the bounce. In fact, it's all Fitzroy down there. Pert goes the hand pass. Harris in plenty of trouble. Big Coleman, though, relieves the pressure for them. Coleman now at right half-back flank. Thumping hand pass on towards Paul Ruse at right centre wing. A short pass down the throat of Carlson. Lee Carlson, the former Collingwood player. Good kick. Looks for Quinlan or Scott. Good mark to Danaher, though, in front of the pack. Nice mark. One grab. Beautiful kick too. Back whence it came. Coleman. In fact, too long for him. Browning and Logan go for the ball. Chilcott and Nettlefold. Good tackle by the Fitzroy player. Harris comes in to assist him. Picked up, no, not picked up by Brady. He, in fact, got tripped on the way through it. Umpire Geoff Morrow has decided on a bounce. Left half forward flank for the Swans. Knocked out by Brady, but not very far. Nettlefold gets it down to Harris. In turn over towards Loken. He's had 10 kicks so far in the match. Conlon on right centre wing, caught.
And back towards that half-forward line. There's a bit of a crash up there. They're piling in, and finally it's Brady coming out with the ball. Not a good kick. Back it goes towards that position. Oh, Pekin was covered, but he finally gets the ball. The ball came out that time to Ruse. A long kick over the half-forward line. And Fitzroy trailing by 5 points at the moment. We see Thornton pick it up, boot it up there long, looking for Quinlan. It'll bounce okay, I think, for him. No, it bounced the wrong way, and that gave Cruz the chance to recover and get the ball back to Danaher in the back pocket. He's hooked it out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick to Wilson. And it'll be about 30 metres out from goal. 5 points the difference at the moment, approaching the 3-minute mark of this, the third quarter. 51 points the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 46. Waiting on the kick from Gary Wilson, who's played a superb game up to this stage of the match. Coming around so he'll get a better sight of the goals and open them up, and that's not a bad sort of a kick. But it's not far enough off the top of the pack. Picked up by Quinlan again, a left foot snap. And that's a beautiful goal by Quinlan. What a goal. It's the Sydney Swans back into attack now. They're a point down at the moment as the ball is knocked on by Pert. They're kicking with the breeze this quarter. It's Bernie Quinlan coming away from the pack. Welsh, Evans, I should say, was smothered that time by Thornton. Evans in trouble again. It's finally kicked out wide by Little Peak, and not a very long kick, but Thornton backs up well and takes the ball on the half-forward line. Down it goes towards the pocket. We see Cruz knock Carlson down. Should have gone for the ball. The umpire will pay a free kick. That time it may not be Carlson, it's Loken. So it's Loken to take the free kick out there at half-forward, about 60 metres out from goal. And Fitzroy in front by a point. A short pass. Wilson got under that one. Was a bad pass, actually. And that's Carter spinning away from his opponents to take the ball away from the danger zone.
Not for very long, though. It's all Fitzroy out there.
Whoop.
Thornton gets it on to Pekin. Up to full forward again. Not touched by Danaher, but nevertheless out of bounds, and a boundary throw in left forward pocket for Fitzroy as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third term. Number 23 is Scott, 24 is Talbot. Talbot doing well in the ruck. Thumped further back by Ackley, and we'll see another throw in, this time about 7 or 8 metres further around the boundary line. Fitzroy leading by 1 point, and this quarter they're kicking against the breeze, so things looking fairly good for them at the moment. Talbot again. Knocked away by Wilson. Quinlan tries to pick it up, not having any success. Ackley to Browning. Browning's kick in towards centre field. Good mark taken by Frangalis. He moved very quickly up the round. Knocked away by Pert. He's got too many legs for Round. Far too fast for him. He's a good player, Pert. Be in line for state selection. Conlon. Retarded. He'll get the free kick.
That breeze has dropped a bit, but it's not as strong as it was the first half of the game.
Mickey Codlin has kicked 1 goal so far. Lead being made by Wilson, but he won't short pass it. And a good mark taken down there on the last line of defence by Steve Talbot. Playing a good game for the Swans too. Hounsell, same could be said about him, but he's outmarked on this occasion by Barwick, one of the top line recruits this year. A short pass by Barwick. That's okay to Quinlan, and Quinlan marks 35 to 40 metres out directly in front of goal. Well within kicking distance for him, certainly. Quinlan's kicked 2 goals so far. It's going pretty close for number 3, but it won't quite make the distance. And Danaher again taking a good mark, only a few metres from the goal line. A hurried hand pass, though, was not really good football. A chance for Fitzroy again. Conlon grabbed, not in possession. Oh, he's grabbed too high, but the umpire still says play on. Picked up by Smith, out of bounds. Just bounces inside, and the boundary throw in right half forward for the Lions.
Approaching the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, the difference 1 point in favour of Fitzroy. And Danaher's a very solid player too, doing a pretty good job down there in defence. Nice knock at that time by Talbot over to Smith. Smith's kick is across the centre half forward, coming out to meet it now is Nettlefold, but finally knocked down here to Little House. He's got the run here, but Barwick's right on his tail. He's collared him. Now it's Reece Jones to have a snap at goal. Up there towards Barry Round, but it's through for 1 point. It was a good tackle by Barwick that time, Bob.
I felt it should have been a free kick.
Yes.
That was in the back, did you? All right, I won't argue with you. You're a triple Brownlow medalist.
Well, you've got 3 Brownlow medals between you.
That's right. Little short kick. And it falls back there towards that half-back line. Oh, Bernie Evans had a look that time. Possibly it's picked up now by Harris. Loses that one. Browning taps it out nicely to Frangalis. Recovers well, then loses the foot. And we see Laurie punching the ball back there now. But there's Torbett in the way. A good hand pass coming out to Smith. Another one over to Evans. Sidesteps his opponent nicely. A snap at goal. It's not a bad sort of a kick. And the Sydney Swans have hit the front again. Sydney Swans 58 points to 52 Fitzroy. Ball knocked out by Torbett. Brown gives a hand pass. That's Frangalis forcing his way through the pack back. Oh, nice tap over that time by Hansel. Back to Browning. Another one comes out, but nicely intercepted by Wilson, playing a great game. There's a chance now for Pekin. Ball beautifully away from Carter. Goes for a pass. It'll be okay, and the big fella Scott's got it about 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. Now, he's missed a couple of easy shots, and at the moment they're trailing by 6 points, Fitzroy. And this, if it's successful, this kick will put the scores dead level. It's been a very good standard of football here today. There's the kick by Scott. Doesn't make the distance. That's flying high was Conlon. Bernie Quinlan comes in to pick it up. Can't get clear. McMahon's there. Fumbles the ball, but there's plenty going in after it now. It's Ackley finally for. No, it's not over the line, but it is. No, it's not. The umpire still say playing out. It comes now to Morwood. Back it goes to Smith, but they're in plenty of trouble at the moment. Now it's Morwood, and the ball finally cleared away by Carr.
Yes, they did that the hard way. They were hoping it went out of bounds. It didn't. Now a chance on the centre wing for Frangalis. He's well caught, and this time it's out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in on the true centre wing position. Had a good game. Frangalis taking some nice marks too. Torbett doing the lion's share of the ruck work on the shoulder, says umpire Geoff Morrow. A free kick going the Swans' way. Craig Brady, the recipient. Brady from left centre wing. Up to full forward. Rhys Jones behind. Taken by Thornton. A free kick going to Osborne, is it? Yes. Osborne was infringed on the shoulder against Rhys Jones. Osborne is off. He'll get away from David today because Rhys Jones still carrying that ankle. Torbett has it knocked away from him by Quinlan. And again, Loken. Smith and Browning go without the ball. Likewise Wilson, he'll get a free kick. He was tackled when not in possession of the ball, and Gary Wilson at centre field will put Fitzroy into attack. Wilson sees a lead up towards half forward. Conlon is the one he was aiming it at. Knocked away from him. Barwick still going for it, and again well played. Persistence pays off. Conlon. Short pass from Mickey out towards right half forward. Oh, that's a good mark to Roos. Good mark taken by Paul Roos, some 45 metres out from goal. And when the whistle finishes, the football will commence again. And a 15-metre penalty. That's another one. That was a bit harsh. Who ran over the mark, Bob? I was watching.
Dennis Carroll was chasing Carlson so he could try and smother the hand pass, and I do not agree with that 15 metres.
It's a well-known trick, though. If you run between the player and the mark, you get the 15 metres, but Roos gets another goal.
Logan driving Fitzroy back over their half forward on the ball, pushed away at that time by Roberts, but kicked off the ground by the little fella Harris. Now it's Roos giving a hand pass over to Quinlan, but he's put him under pressure. Did he get into his back? The umpire said yes. It'll be a free kick against Carter. He's not too happy about it, and neither will the crowd up here. I reckon that was a push in the back. Bernie Quinlan right on the boundary line, about 45 metres out from goal, but he kicked a ripper before. There's the kick by Quinlan into the goal square. Scott in front, punched away by Danaher. Back it goes to Pekin, but they pounce on him, and it's finally picked up now by Roberts. A high kick back there towards Williamson, and the big fella's got the mark about 70 metres out from goal. Short pass, dangerous, but it'll be okay, and the mark taken there by Thornton at centre half forward.
I think the Swans have panicked a little bit, Lou.
Yes, a little bit. Scores at the moment dead level, 58 points apiece, and Thornton's got a chance to put Fitzroy in front. The kick doesn't quite make the distance. Punched away that time by oh, there's a snap at goal. A beauty by little Harris. That's a goal. My God, I never thought he was going to give that to the umpire, but it's a goal, and Fitzroy have hit the front now. Fitzroy, their score is 9 goals, 10-64 to the Swans, 8 goals, 10-58.
On replay, we see Talbot knock the ball down, Harris coming across, and a lovely snap by Harris. At the present moment, Fitzroy playing far better than the Swans. They have really got their game together. They're doing well across the half-back line, and the play at the moment all in Fitzroy's area.
Fitzroy lead by 6 points. Round now having a run at the ruck against Williamson. Won by Round to Browning. Browning's hand pass is not particularly good. Picked up by Laurie after Barwick gave it to him. McMahon and Carter. Knocked down for Evans to pick up. Evans running beautifully. Right half forward. A goal would level the scores. Holden on, I see. He does the shepherding in towards full forward, and it bounces through for one behind. And that makes the difference now 5 points here at the S.C.G. 64 to 59. But Fitzroy playing the better football at the moment. Thornton to do the kicking in. He's gone for a short pass. Oh, that's a Osborne rather. That's a shocker. Pert, one of the most improved players this year, Gary Pert. I've hardly seen him do a thing wrong in the games we've seen Fitzroy play, as Tony Morwood takes the mark. Morwood out towards half forward. Brady late on the scene, can't complete the mark. Thornton taps it down. Brady again. Thornton gives it to Coleman. Awkward looking kick. Quinlan. On it goes to Pekin. A number of the Lions recruits up towards full forward. Long kick by Pekin. Gathered in close to the boundary line by Smith. Smith clears for the Swans. Plenty of distance in that kick likewise, and a good mark taken by Hounsell in front of David McMahon. Hounsell just short of centre wing. Looking for Round. At the back is Brady. Wobbles it up towards half forward. Nettlefold has it knocked away from him, crashes an opponent to the ground, gets ridden into the ground himself by Rhys Jones, and umpire Geoff Morrow has decided on a bounce some 25 metres out from the Swans' goal. They'll have to lift their game at the moment. Lions defence doing a very good job at present. Talbot and Williamson will be the ruckman. Won by Talbot again, gets it to Brady. A snapshot is going close, but not close enough. 4 points the difference now at the S.C.G. 64 to 60.
And we're approaching the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. Waiting on the ball to come back into play. Burt goes for the half-back flank position. Quinlan getting into position there. Taps. Oh, that's nearly a marked around, I would say. Yes, he's paid that. A quick hand pass coming over to Hounsell. And he boots the ball long up there towards the full forward. But that's Talbot flying. Got under that one. Pushed away by Rhys Jones. He goes after the second time. Actually threw it out to Chilcott. But he's grabbed it. Finally goes back now. And we see Holden having a snap at goal. Won't make the distance. At the back there as Brady got his hands to it. But it's finally forced through for 1 point.
It's interesting, Lou, when the crowd chants up here, they don't say the Swans, they say Sydney.
61 points of the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 64. Well, they do come from Sydney, don't they? The ball dropped short. Frangalis dropped a sitter that time. Kicked off the ground by Laurie. Scoots across there to centre half back. And it's out there towards that centre field position. Nice pick up by Carter, but he was grabbed that time by McMahon. A goal round the neck to McMahon. Quickly plays on. The umpire said keep going. Over to Roos. And the ball out wide now. There's a mark taken here by Carlson about 45 metres out from goal. He's gone for the long kick. At the back is Burnley. Quinley's got the sit here. Couldn't hold the mark. Good play on the part of Danaher that time, and the umpire will ball it up about 10 or 12 metres out from the Fitzroy goal.
As Carlson took a little bit too long to put that ball down. Quinlan was on his own for quite a while in the square.
The difference now is 3 points in favour of Fitzroy. 61 plays 64. Knocked out by Danaher. There's a go for Barwick. A hand pass back to Super Boot. Bernie Quinlan fires, but he's off target and it's through for 1 point. So the difference now, it's 4 points. 8-13-61 the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 9-11-65. Just over the 17.5-minute mark of the third quarter. It's still anybody's game. It's been a real close one all day. The ball back into play again. That's a long kick back to centre field just about. And that's a great mark taken there by Fitzroy's Williamson. He's taken quite a few good marks today, Bob.
This is a very impressive youngster, Lou. I think there's a big future for young Williamson.
I think that's about his 7th mark for the day. There's the kick by Williamson. Well, apparently it was his 8th mark, and there's Danaher, a very reliable player in defence to take a good mark.
Taking a few himself, hasn't he?
Yes, he goes back to that 15-metre penalty. This brings him up to centre half back and a chance to take the pressure away.
Danaher Lovely torpedo punt down towards half forward. Williamson's there again at the back. Brown couldn't complete the grab either. Nettlefold boots the ball out of the pack. Browning is there. Gathers it in front of Loken, who didn't get a favourable bounce. On it goes to Ian Roberts. Long kick up looking for Frangois, and Gary Pert again.
What a great game, Pert.
He has carried on from where he left off against Simon Beasley last week. Missed by Thornton. Not a good pass. Hounsell could have got a free for in the back. Umpire says no, and a hand pass comes out to Bartlett now at left half back. Little pass downfield, stabs it up towards McMahon. One of the veterans of the Fitzroy side, on to Bill Loken. Scott. Conlon. He won't give a hand pass. Shot at goal. Doesn't matter. He's put it through, I think. He has. It's 10 points the difference now at the S.C.G. That second goal by Mickey Conlon, giving Fitzroy a little bit of breathing space. Evans tries to get clear at the centre circle. Successful in so doing. Coleman giving chase. He won't catch him. Good play by Evans, who steadies. A long shot at goal. They need one here, the Swans. Reece Jones does the shepherding, and it's through. Badly needed goal, single-handedly done by Evans. 10 of Evans 71 to 9-13-67.
Well, that's the type of goal the Swans need at the present moment, to give them some sort of a lift. Evans taking the ball right out of the centre himself. Little bounces, and now right into the square. Reece Jones doing a nice piece of shepherding to allow that goal through.
Just over the 20-minute mark, and of course the difference only 4 points again, so the Swans bouncing back to the centre of the ground. A little bit of wind favouring the end that the Sydney Swans are kicking to, but not as big as not as strong as it was in the early part of the game. Knocked out by Rao. Beat about 5 of them there, but we see Harris tap the ball on wide. Going after it now is Ruse on that wing position. Goes for a hand pass. It's finally picked up here by Loken. The ball shot across to centre half forward. The back fly. Well, they all missed it. That's Cruz coming at it. Bounces okay for him. And the Swans go back into attack, but there's no one there to take the mark. And an easy mark taken by Laurie. A beautiful pass out wide. And there's Loken again, who's played a fair game today. Short pass. It'll be okay. And Wilson's got the ball in the forward pocket about 30 metres out from goal. But a difficult angle.
Here's Loken on top in the centre, Lou.
We see now Wilson, who's played a great game here today. Logan's had about 14 kicks from around about the 20 possession mark, I would say. The kick by Wilson, not a great one, and it goes through for a point.
Quinlan and...
There's a bit of a box on down there.
Quinlan and Carter, Lou.
Well, they're having a bit of a wrestle. They're all going. Looks more like a rugby scrum than a Australian football game. Get yourself back, boys, because we're up in Sydney. We don't have to act like Sydney guys, do you?
Somebody might have had his number taken.
Well, I think Jesse James, Glenn James, the umpire's going for the book. He's the quickest book in the business. I think he's the only guy that carries 2 books.
Talking to the goal umpire. No books were there. No.
Glenn's going a bit easy on him today. The score at the moment, at any rate, is Sydney Swans 9-13-67 to Fitzroy 10-12-72, a difference of 5 points. Well, we're waiting now to see the result. I think he's going to ball it up.
It did go through for a point.
What's going to happen? He's going to play a point?
Yep.
No,
he's not.
He's giving a free kick down there. It'll go to, is it Carroll to take the free kick, Bob?
Dennis Carroll waiting for it.
Yeah, Carroll to get the free kick at the full-back position. The difference still 5 points in favour of Fitzroy as it goes out wide. Reece Jones got his hand. That's little Hounsell pass. Now it's Chilcott after he missed that one. Chilcott kicks the ball off the... There we see the ball picked up by Brady. A hand pass coming over now to Round. Another one back to Reece Jones in plenty of trouble. Got one too high. Umpire didn't see that. He missed it. Oh, listen to the crowd going mad as we see Smith go for a pass. It's a beauty. And a mark taken down there by Ackley. Oh, he missed that one. Oh, golly, how he missed that, I don't know. And Reece Jones going across to Glenn James to have a few words. Certainly missed that one. Evans is going back to say something to him too. Still, they're only human. They've got to miss some of them. He's the best umpire in the business without any worries at all. Waiting on this kick from Ackley. There's the kick. That's a beautiful goal.
24 minutes have gone in the third quarter.
The scoreboard, the two scoreboards registered here 73 points the Swans and Sydney 72, and we'll have to check that. They must have registered that kick before the Carroll to a point.
Yes, well, if it was the final quarter, we'll worry a bit more about it. I think Lewis Harris tries to break clear, gets caught, push in the back, says the umpire, and that'll be a 15-metre penalty, Robert. It will now. Well, Rhys Jones has done his lolly after that infringement before wasn't detected. Well, the Swans giving away a lot of foolish free kicks today. Carter in front, can't take the grab. Ackley, who kicked the last goal, gets them out of the danger zone, momentarily at least. Barwick, 2 grabs and a mark for mine. No play on, says the umpire. Hounsell tries to do just that. Back to Barwick, well caught by Holden. Going in pretty solidly now, some of these players. Umpire Geoff Morrow has found a free kick to Fitzroy. The umpire runs into Bernie Evans. So he's got the free kick. A long way from goal. Short pass to Wilson is a beauty. Gary Wilson now. About 35 metres out.
Nice to see the old-fashioned stab kick, Lou.
In towards the 10-metre square. Nice bit of jostling there. Harris grab. Carter slung high by Quinlan. How about that, says Lee Carlson. But it's too high. And Quinlan having a go at Bernie Evans as well.
Oh, look, still
Wiser heads will prevail. Carter will have to have another kick.
Bernie's saying you nearly choked me, you know, but the umpire's not having a bar of that.
He's giving him an anatomy lesson, I think.
I think Bernie was trying to get a 15-metre penalty.
Yeah, he's going to have a go at Conlon. I'd watch that, Bernie.
So Carter's kick, that's a good one too, up towards centre wing. Coleman couldn't complete the mark. Smith, good hand pass, onto Ackley, gets a favourable bounce. Osborne in hot pursuit. Down to Hounsell, short pass, missed by Torbett. Pert, safe in defence, sees the ball over the boundary line, and we'll see a throw-in right forward pocket for the Swans at the 26.5-minute mark.
Ball out of bounds in that forward pocket position, about 30 metres around from the Sydney Swans goal. 2 points the difference in favour of the Swans. Down to Hounsell, left foot snap towards the goals, coming over is Frangalis, and it's finally rushed through for 1 point. So the difference is 3 points now. 74 plays 71 in favour of the Sydney Swans. But Fitzroy come home with the breeze. In the last quarter at the back, great mark to Morrow. A beautiful mark. Morrow out there at half forward. Not a great kick, it falls short, and there's Wilson, in my opinion, the best player on the ground. He's played a great game today.
Yes, agreed.
Wilson short passing. And we see that pass going there to Osborne. I think he's had about 15 or 16 kicks plus quite a few handballs. We see Osborne scooting back there towards centre field. The ball shot out there towards that half forward line. There's a chance now for McMahon. If it bounces okay, doesn't try to pick it up. He goes for a kick, but it's too quick or too long for Bernie Evans, and the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket. 27.5 minutes gone. We'll wait now for the ball to come back into play. 3 points the difference in favour of the Sydney Swans. Just before three-quarter time. Back it comes to Browning. Ball back towards centre half forward. There's a chance now for Rhys Jones to take the mark. It's a kick across to centre half forward. Punched away that time by Nettlefole. He's grabbed it, gets the hand pass back there to Osborne at centre field. A long hand pass. And it's Pekin going for a hand pass back there. It's not a good one. This gives Smith the chance to break clear. Another hand pass out the Hounsell. Back it goes again to Holden. Holden's kick is a short one. It'll be okay to mark. Oh, he dropped an easy one, Cruz, but luckily there's no one there. And he goes for the long kick up there to Frangalis. And it bounces the wrong way and through for 1 point. So it's 4 points the difference now in favour of the Sydney Swans. They're 10-15-75 to Fitzroy 10-11-71. And we're at the 28.5-minute mark of this third quarter.
Gary Pert to Gary Wilson. Two of the fine players for Fitzroy this afternoon. Hand pass in the meantime from centre wing from Roos. Scott doesn't know which way to go. Coleman is there. Oh, got into the back of Morwood. Morwood will get the free kick. That's to the right of the stand. In front of us, Ian Roberts, left half forward flank, decides to go for the run. Long ball, trying to find Torbett, knocked away by Gary Pert. One of Fitzroy's best. Osborne He's defending well too. Back to centre field. Pekin and Holden. Pekin gets there first, gives it to Conlon. Conlon on centre wing. Attempted smother by Rhys Jones, not successful. Out comes Leon Harris and a good mark. He decides to play on. The siren imminent. At half forward, good tackle on Logan. Missed it. Round. Logan's got it again, but runs into his teammate. Roos calls for it and gets it at half forward. Good smother by Morwood. Roos into the open. Free kick in the meantime.
Through that, Pete.
You've got quicker eyes than I have, Luke. So has the umpire. Morwood's free kick. Round. Might have to bring it back, I think. Yes, he has. Time on being whistled. Nearly 30 minutes gone in the term. Danaher's kick. Over the circle. Brady and Coleman jostle. Neither takes the mark. It rebounds to Brady. Looks for the hand pass to Rhys Jones on right centre wing. He's well shepherded. Awkward left footer. Up to Torbett, who has to defend and punch it clear. Holden into the open spaces. It bounces better for Osborne. Hooks it high towards centre wing. Ackley and Harris. Ackley attempts it one-handed and it gets a free kick.
I think he felt that Harris was hanging on, but I think it was play on, personally.
He looked Tiggy Touchwood from here. Ackley, who's played well in this quarter. Chance for Wilson. Rue's got it at the back of Hounsell. A real stack-up developing. Umpire Glenn James has decided on a ball up. But it is three-quarter time and looks as though we're set for a thrilling final quarter as we check the scores. The Sydney Swans 10-15, 75. Fitzroy 10-11, 71. It's 4 points the difference at three-quarter time in favour of the Sydney Swans. That quarter they added 3 goals, 6 to Fitzroy's 4 goals, 1. So they still lead by 4 points at three-quarter time. The goal kickers for the Swans, Evans 3, Frangalis 2 and Ackley 2. They're the main ones. And for Fitzroy, 2 each to Roos, Quinlan, Conlon and Wilson.
During that quarter, we saw Gary Wilson once again leading the Lions in their run forward, and 4 goals 1 to 3 goals 6 against the Breeze. Robert Walls, I believe, would be extremely happy at this stage of proceedings. They're coming home with at least a 2-goal Breeze, even though it has dropped a little bit. It's still certainly going straight down the ground in favour of the end to which Fitzroy are kicking in this quarter. They had great defenders in that term. Gary Pert has been an excellent player at fullback. During that quarter, Osborne continually sent the Swans back. Loken across the centre as well on top of Browning, and Barwick is an excellent player being shifted onto Hounsell. Barwick has really surprised Hounsell and his disposal is excellent, but up forward Quinlan a danger. As the game has progressed, he's gradually got on top of Dennis Carroll, who early was continually putting the Swans forward, but I think Robert Walls would be looking for the Fitzroy side, just as Ricky Quaid would for that matter, to really get a quick one early in the piece. It's vital for both sides that they get that the lift that you do gain by getting an early goal. But the Swans looking a little bit ragged. They have panicked on a couple of occasions, giving away foolish free kicks and 15-metre penalties that have resulted in goals to Fitzroy. It's hard enough at any time, let alone giving them away with foolish play.
Stats on the match to three-quarter time. We've just taken them off the board, so I can't give them to you.
Well, it's a funny thing. Les
Parrish
Parrish with his hand, the right hand, very heavily bandaged, and with that dressing gown on, looks like the middleweight champion of the world, doesn't he?
He does.
Yes, I doubt whether we'd see Parrish taking the field again in this game, judging by that very heavily. In fact, it looked like it was plaster.
Yes.
Yes.
As Gary Frangalis starting on the bench too. Well, we haven't time to give you the stats, I don't think, because we're just about to get set for the final quarter.
Yeah, Chilcott on the bench.
And Frangalis. The final term from the Sydney Cricket Ground. The Swans holding a lead, but only by 4 points. In this quarter, Fitzroy kicking with the breeze. Umpire Glenn James to start proceedings. Williamson wins that one from Steve Torbett. Picked up by Roos. Short kick to half forward, almost a mark to Roberts. Taking it well though as Harris, on to McMahon. The veteran Fitzroy, half forward flanker, shoots at goal, and Fitzroy are in front within 25 seconds of play.
Well, that's exactly what I meant at three-quarter time, Pete. I really believe that very, very quick goal is just the thing to lift the team. As we watched on replay, Roos getting the ball out of the centre. The mark almost missed. Almost missed, it was missed, I should say. And McMahon finishing it off with a lovely goal. We did say Chilcott was on the bench, Pete. He is still in the forward pocket.
All right. That would have been surprising had he started on the bench, I must admit. 1 minute gone. This time won by Torbett. Picked up by Logan, who's been a very good player for Fitzroy, though. Roberts goes the spoil by Glenn James, watching it closely as it comes to Holden. Morwood. Oh, Smith missing the hand pass. Socket off the ground, past Rhys Jones, picked up by Osborne to Logan again. Long kick by Logan up the full forward. Danaher at the back and sees it go through for one behind. Fitzroy increased their lead by that margin, and it's 10-15 75 to 10-12 78. A difference of 3 points in favour of the Lions as Danaher prepares to bring the ball back. Straight down the ground, dropping a little bit short. It could even bounce out before it's touched. No. So it will be a boundary throw in at right half forward for the Fitzroy side. Torbett and Williamson again. Torbett goes for the long hand pass, wins it well to Hounsell. Hounsell on centre wing puts the Swans into attack.
And it falls a little bit short at the back. That time was Osborne. Holden goes down too, but Osborne won't give up. They pile on top of the ball. And finally, Brady comes out with a wild hand pass, but the umpires found a free kick on his shoulder.
He got a rabbit punch at the back of the neck.
And we'll find that Brady will take this free kick at centre half forward. Goes for the long kick, looking for Barry Round down there with Perth. Round got a hand to it. Now he's got a chance to snap if he can get out the package to Cruz. And it's a goal, and the Sydney Swans have hit the front again. Well, it certainly took a while to get it out, Barry, but he got it out. 11 goals, 15-81 to Sydney Swans, to Fitzroy 11-12, 78.
So one of the moves made by Ricky Quaid at three-quarter time. Cruz to the forward line. Round trying to force it through. Gets the ball to Max Cruz. And Cruz, it looks like, is down in the forward pocket alongside Round.
Wasn't the most exciting bit of play on the part of Barry Round, but still he got it out to Cruz and he kicked the goal. They're back in front again. 3 points the difference, and the Sydney Swans kicking against the breeze in this last quarter. It's worth about 2 or 3 goals. Knocked out by Torbett, doing well in the ruck. Nearly a free kick to the Fitzroy guy there, but the umpire's going to ball it up again. So it'll be a ball up at centre field. Williamson coming across, actually knocked out by Torbett. Hounsell can't get clear. It's finally driven up there by Thornton for Fitzroy over their half-forward line. They're trailing by 3 points. Scott picks it up nicely, one-handed. Back it goes again to McMahon. Another long hand pass coming out here now. A chance for the ball to come back to Scott. They're messing about. Oh, he's put him under the hammer that time. Harris had no hope. Now it's Conlon breaking clear. Rhys Jones is onto him, and he breaks clear. That's sheer strength as he goes for a pass. It's a good one, and Harris has got the mark about 30 metres out from goal directly in front. By golly, he's a strong bloke, that Conlon. Rhys Jones was hanging on like grim death that time, but couldn't hang on to him. He shrugged him up. There's a chance now for Harris to fire at the goal from point-blank range. The kick. And that's a goal to Fitzroy.
Fitzroy lead by 3 points in this thrilling game at the S.C.G. Knocked away by Torbett, picked up by Logan, who has had a million kicks this afternoon. Robertson, Conlon, out comes Ackley to meet the ball successfully. Almost caught by McMahon. A more than useful balk to get around he and Wilson. Up towards centre wing. Mark missed by Pekin. Nettlefold was there to back up though. Conlon again, and Mark's in front of Roberts. Mickey Codlin between wing and half forward. Scott too tall. And Mark Scott has taken the mark. 25 metres from goal on a slight angle.
And Danaher's had him pretty well covered all day, Bob, hasn't he?
A good job, Danaher, but unfortunately Scott was able to lay back on Danaher then and use his height to advantage. He did it well, Scott.
He kicked that well too. It's a goal. Fitzroy doing it well now in the final term. And the score is 13-12-90. They lead the Swans by 9 points, 11-15-81.
So it's 4 goals in 6 minutes. So it's a great brand of football at the moment, but I'm not sure not one that the fans up here are actually enjoying. But Fitzroy, right through the third quarter, they actually looked as though they were getting on top. And their run-on game and their back line in particular with Pert in that last line of defence. Osborne in the third quarter was an extremely good player, and they're rebounding it off that half-back line. So too is Loken in the centre.
Williamson to do battle with Torbett. It's Ricky Quaid we saw a moment ago looking particularly worried, as well he might. Fitzroy finishing off the work pretty well at the moment, knocked away by Torbett. He's done well at the centre bounces against taller opponents. Hand pass by Coleman is okay. McMahon knocks it on further forward and taken by Roberts. Roberts puts the Swans up to half forward. A big pack of players. Coleman is there. It rebounds to Smith.
Alan Smith breaking clear now, goes for a short pass to Round. He's got the mark. Now, if the captain's got to kick a goal, it's this one, because at the moment they're trailing by 9 points. He's only about 15 metres out dead in front, and of course his goal-kicking record is not the hottest at the moment. Well, it hasn't been for many years. There's the kick by Round, and he's put that one through, the skipper. So it's 3 points the difference now at the 7.5-minute mark. 12-15-87 the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 13-12, 90 points. And what a great game it's been in today.
An excellent game, Lou, and we watched the replay. The loose ball coming down into the arms of Greg Smith. Nice pass from Smith. And Gary Pert just not being able to knock it away on that occasion.
3 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. Can the Sydney Swans bounce back and get in front again? Knocked out by Torbett. Grabs it the second time. A long hand pass back there towards Hawke. Pounces on the ball. Spins away from the pack beautifully. And the ball's driven over the half forward. And there's a mark to Morwood. Now he's about 50 metres out from goal, directly in front, and a chance to put them in front. Round calling for the ball. He's going with the ball now with Pert. Oh, he's got it! Oh, what a mark to Barry Round! Oh, what a mark! That was a fantastic effort by the big forward pocket player and skipper of the Sydney Swans. A great mark, and he's only about 5 metres out. He couldn't miss this for £1 million, I don't reckon. Let's see what'll happen. The strain on the captain will put him 3 points in front. Will he kick it or will he miss it? He's got it through, a goal, and they're in front again. Well, there he is. 13-15-93 the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 13-12-90.
Well, I'm sure you can't really say it's bad defence, but 6 goals in 8 minutes of football, particularly at this stage of the game, is an unbelievable start to a quarter.
Look at this mark, Bobby.
On replay now, we see Tony Morwood. One hand. Gary Pert has been great right through the day, but you can't stop them all.
Yes, great one-handed mark, that by the skipper. 3 points the difference now with the Swans back in front. Superb mark then by Barry Round. Torbett and Williamson. It's won by the latter. Browning fumbles, but does get his kick in. Mark taken by Hawke at half forward. Hawke to Bernie Evans, who likes a shot at goal. That's close, but off target and through for one behind. So the Swans lead by 4 points now at the 9.5-minute mark of the term. 94 plays 90.
Young Hawke's bounced back into the game too, Peter.
He has. Pert. Beautiful kick by Gary Pert. Almost to the centre circle. In fact, it's over the centre circle. Superb boot. Super boot. To Roos. Roos up to half forward for Fitzroy, trying to find Conlon or Scott. Neither can take the mark. Conlon recovers the quicker. Paddles it out, but it goes to Danaher, who's been a good defender today. Straight down the ground. Too many Fitzroy players are there, but Quinlan's lost it on this occasion. He recovers quickly. The hand pass is okay. It rebounds to Harris now. Harris on to Thornton. Thornton, long hand pass. Roos again on centre wing. Lovely ball, caught by Carroll though. Down it goes to Nettlefold, who tackles Torbett a little bit too high. And Torbett will get the free kick at, well, he's just about in the back pocket. A little bit up from there. Carroll sidesteps Wilson, gets around McMahon. In towards centre field again. Quinlan knocks the ball effectively clear, picked up by Leon Harris, who wobbles it to half forward. Conlon over the top, finding Carlson, who traps it beautifully. Loken, caught by Holden, fumbled by Barwick. Cruz puts the body in well. Hand pass comes out of the pack up to Scott. Oh, almost a throw that one. Conlon a shot at goal.
There's a throw, Pete.
It is a throw, yes. And a free kick will go to Danaher in the last line of defence.
Well, there was a free kick against Scott, but the method was there, but it didn't come up. Here we see it again.
As Cruz comes through, Logan getting the hand pass in. Conlon now, and definitely a scoop out.
Short pass coming up now. Still the difference, 4 points in favour of the Swans as the ball goes out there now on a mark to Cruz. 11.5 minutes gone. 15-metre penalty to Cruz. Goes for the long kick right up towards centre half forward now. Evans got his hands knocked out to Reece Jones. A left foot short pass, but it's too short the mark here by Nettlefall. He was looking for round that time. Out wide. It's a good pass out there to Logan on his own. He's got a paddock to run in here. Another short pass coming out there to Austin on the half forward line, still on his own. So they're creating the loose man pretty well at the moment. Up there towards the full forward position. The back is Wilson. And he's got the mark.
Great mark.
Had to sit that time. He's got the mark. There's no worries about that. So it'll put Fitzroy 2 points in front. If he kicks this one, he's only about 1.5 feet out from the goals. That's a great mark to the Fitzroy captain. Umpire pulling him around to line him up with the centre of the goals, but I don't think that'll put him up. So it'll be, it's 4 points in favour of the Swans at the moment. Wilson, their captain's got the chance to put them 2 points in front. It's 94 plays 90. Into this quarter by 12.5 minutes. And that's a goal. Just over the 13-minute mark, and Fitzroy in front by 2 points. This has been a great game here today. Still anybody's match. It'll be the big fella Williamson against Torbert, who hasn't been off the ball hardly all day. Knocked out by Torbert. Intercepted that time by Smith, but Bernie Quinlan collars him, and the umpire said he had no hope of getting rid of it. And it'll be a ball up down towards the Sydney Swans centre half forward position. At the moment, they're trailing by 2 points. Knocked out again by Torbert. Pushed away by Quinlan. That's a high kick by Williams. Not a good one. Punched away by Torbert again. There's little Leon Harris, who's played a great game, and the ball goes back into attack for Fitzroy, and it's out of bounds on their half forward line.
Just bouncing about 1.5 metres inside the boundary line, and so a throw-in will take place right in front of the interchange area. Torbert with Quinlan, won by the Brownlow medalist, picked up by Carter. Back to Cruz, who hooks it up to centre wing. Mark missed by Hawke. Out it comes to Williamson. Coleman, the two giants of the Fitzroy side, back to centre field, missed by Barwick. Into his back, was it? Yes, free kick to the Fitzroy recruit, which he will take just short of the centre circle. Quinlan has two opponents and is outmarked by Max Cruz. Cruz kicking a goal earlier in the quarter too. Morwood knocked away by Williamson. Hounsell from the circle. Out to Carroll. To Browning. Opposition from Nettlefold and also Gary Pert. Back to Nettlefold from right half-back flank, and a short pass looking for Logan. He's just about best on the ground, this fellow.
Played well.
He has played well. He and Wilson have certainly been the two stars of the Fitzroy side.
And the Swans have got Browning down on the forward line to give themselves a lift down there at the moment.
Harris's kick up the full forward. Scott! Yes! He's got it. Mark Scott's height a telling factor in that exchange. He's kicked 2 goals already, one from a free kick. Let's look at that again. Too tall for Danaher. Good use of the body by Mark Scott, and he's about 25 metres out, directly in front of goal, and a chance to put the Lions further ahead. And lead at the moment by 1 point, 94 to 95. That looks pretty good from here. It's 7 points the difference.
Okay, the difference now, 94 plays, 102 in favour of Fitzroy. 8 points the difference. The ball is knocked out that time. I think Williamson might have got that one out. Oh, there's a pretty strong one by Big Torbert, but the umpire will ball it up. Frangalis on the ground, Chilcott off. Well, actually, Chilcott's been pretty quiet here today since about halfway through the second quarter. Knocked out by Torbert again. It's little Hounsell going for a hand pass. Coming to meet it as more, but he ran into a brick wall that time, and it'll be a ball up at centre half forward. Just on the 17-minute mark of this last quarter, and it's 8 points the difference in favour of the Sydney Swans. I should say Fitzroy. I don't upset you Fitzroy fans back in Melbourne. Bernie Quinlan got that knockout. Logan fumbles. Finally coming out the pack is Reece Jones right down there towards Barry Round. He couldn't hold that one. It's knocked away by Pert. That was the chance now. Oh, round the neck. Oh, he said play on again. Finally, Reece Jones going through the pack, gets a hand pass, but there's no one there. for the Swans. Knocked on by Logan. Here's another chance now as the ball is driven up by Frangala, just coming into the ground. Up there towards the full forward position. The back is Laurie.
It's a wrestle behind play, which the umpire has blown the whistle for.
I don't know what's going to happen here. Pert having a go with Rhys Jones. It could be a ball up about 40 metres out from the Sydney Swans goal. Let's see what's going to happen.
He's bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
You'll have to bounce it, Lou.
A ball up out there towards the half-forward line. This time it's about 50 metres out. Still the difference. 8 points in favour of Fitzroy. Barry Round had a chance to mark that one, but we can't complain. He's done well this quarter. Round's got a chance to go for a hand pass. He lost that one, and there's little Harris spinning out of the pack. Finally gets the ball back. In goes Carter. Copped a heavy one from Quinlan. A hand pass out to Rhys Jones. Another one over here to no, it's Hawke with a hand pass back to Wackley. And it's a short pass, and Morwood's got it. Well, was it a mark? It might have hit the ground, that one.
Ball play on.
He's going to ball it up. Well, there was the chance of a lifetime for Morwood. It was a pretty difficult mark. Well, yes. We couldn't really see that because he had his back to us. Bounce again. Knocked out that time by Browning. There's a go for Hawke. Straightens up as a fire at the goal. Not a bad kick. It's a goal, so it's 2 points the difference at the 18.5-minute mark.
There's an excellent goal by young Hawke. He really had to fight hard for that one, and to screw the ball back from that position showed a lot of skill as well. Looked very tired, but he's really put under pressure. And when you can kick them at this stage like that, it shows he's really got something, young Hawke.
Approaching the 19-minute mark. 2 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. What a thriller here at the S.C.G. Picked up by Evans. Evans out towards Carroll, in trouble. Hooks it high. It'll be a Fitzroy marked on Nettlefold. Down to half forward again for the Lions. Oh, Smith collides heavily with McMahon. Conlon tries to shrug another tackle. He's caught that time. Roos and Carroll. McMahon to Quinlan. Quinlan at half forward. Slews off the side of the boot. Loken's there though. Doesn't get the bounce. It favours Torbett. It's not Torbett, it's Frangalis. Pert at the back. Good mark.
Smith off.
Short pass. Downfield, he finds Thornton.
Smith off, Vernon on. Greg Smith.
He's looking a bit of trouble there. 15-metre penalty in the meantime has been applied by the umpire, which brings Thornton up to the circle. Wobbles it high towards the right half-forward flank. Danaher in front. Scott goes the punch to get it away from him. Danaher chasing. Good shepherd by Rhys Jones. Danaher's short pass down the throat of Brady. He got one for his corner. Brady at left centre wing for the Swans. That's a very high kick underneath at Thornton. At the back is Hawke. Knocked down by Pekin. Wilson. Wilson from the circle. Short pass by the Fitzroy skipper, trying to find Quinlan. Plenty of opposition from Carter, and a good shepherd allows him to get his kick in. A short pass. Evans. He's played well for his team. Evans down to right half forward flank, almost a mark to Morwood. Good defence though by Laurie. Caught. Fine tackle, Browning. Barwick caught when he didn't have the ball though. Vernon gets rid of it quickly, close to the boundary line. Scooped back into play. Picked up by Pekin. Solid stuff there. Hawke, lovely ball. Up the full forward. Vernon the chance. Close to the boundary line. Caught, runs over. The ball's still in play, and a decision is
out of bounds.
Was it?
21 minutes gone of this last quarter. 2 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy, and the ball in the Sydney Swans attacking zone about 30 metres around from their goal. It'll be Williamson against Barry Round. Knocked out by Williamson, back to Thornton, runs into trouble, a wild hand pass back to Wilson, taps it on nice. Oh, there's normally a free kick there to the little fella Fagan, but picked up by Round. A high kick back towards the full foot. Pert, there's the go now. Oh, can he pick it up? He can't get it on the line. That Morwood, is it Morwood or Brady it is? And the umpire said what?
Fitzroy fired down.
It'll be a point. So it's a point the difference. 101 points Sydney Swans to Fitzroy 102 as we approach the 22-minute mark.
Coleman in trouble there, Lou.
Yep, he's in trouble. They need every man they can possibly get now because the Sydney Swans are really attacking the ball back into play. That's a long kick out there towards the centre of the ground. Oh, great mark taken here by Carroll. Well, they're coming home pretty strongly, the Sydney Swans, back there towards the full forward position. Punched out again by Burt. There's a go for Bernie Evans. He snaps at the goals. And it's a goal. They've hit the front again, the Sydney Swans. 5 points the difference, and the Swans are in front. Smith out there on the line. Ball back again to Thornton, and Fitzroy go back into attack. Can they get this goal, please? So no. Oh, great mark taken down there by Cruz. And they're standing up to the pressure pretty well at the moment, the Sydney Swans. They know how to play this ground too. They've had plenty of practice up here. The ball finally goes out there towards the wing position. And it's Wilson breaking clear. Goes for a pass. It'll be okay. And Conlon's got the mark around about the centre half forward position. They're trailing by 5 points at the moment. It's Fitzroy. Short pass. And Harris has got it. Played a fine game today, this little fellow. He'd be about 45 metres out. I think the distance might be too far for him, Bob.
It's hard to say, Lou. He's got the aid of the breeze, and he's played a fine game. I'm sure his confidence is up.
He's had about 20 kicks and quite a few hand passes. Little fella played very well indeed. Waiting on the kick. Listen to the crowd. They're giving him the hoot as he fires. There's the kick. Doesn't make the distance. The pack fly. And it's a point. So we see the difference now. 103 plays 107, so it's 4 points the difference, and we're just on the 25-minute mark of this, the last quarter. Can they hang in there, the Sydney Swans?
Yes, 1 minute before time on. Danaher's kick marked out there by Ackley in front of Harris. Well, maybe the next goal would just about win it as Smith comes back onto the ground and Vernon comes off. Ball booted up towards centre wing position. Coleman jostling for position. It rebounds to Laurie, who scoops it out past Holden, close to the boundary line, and we'll see a throw in front of the New Hill stand. Bit of thrilling game right throughout the day. Never more than a couple of goals between each other. 5 points the difference at the moment in favour of the home team. Knocked down by Torben. No one can get clear. Nettlefold trying to get a hand pass into the open spaces. Finally, it's Torbett who runs straight into McMahon, and a good tackle affected. Umpire Glenn James will have to ball it up. Ball up as we are playing time on now. Torbett on his own, but loses out. Thornton's kick. Good mark to Danaher again. He had that one on his own as well. No one came in over the top of him there. Danaher just up from the left back pocket. Almost a centre wing. Swans getting the front position. Brady comes down with the ball. Brady started on the bench. Long kick. The front is Morrow, yes. Swans playing in front at the vital stages of the game here. Morwood short pass. He'll be looking for Browning. He's got it. Good mark to Browning. And Browning has a chance to be a hero if he kicks truly.
Yes, Browning has been fairly quiet today, but he has the opportunity right now of making amends for a lot of that quiet day.
He will certainly get the distance. He has a beautiful kick of the ball. The accuracy, well, we'll wait and see. 5 points the difference. He's 25 to 30 metres out, directly in front of goal. Concentration plus. And the Swans utility player as he comes in and fires. What's he done with that one? It's a goal. 11 points in favour of the Swans. 16-17, 113 to 15-13, 103.
There's an excellent goal by Mark Browning there. A real pressure goal. You do not have much more pressure on you than in a kick like that, as we find the ball coming across now from Morwood. And the Swans bring it from one to the ground to the other with the three lovely marks.
Well, the difference now 10 points. Can the Swans last the distance? Just on the 27-minute mark. Oh, they've really come back into this game. They looked as though they could have been gone at the start of this quarter. The ball back into play again. Knocked away by Brady. Thornton can't pick it up. It's finally Williamson getting a hurried kick back there towards centre half forward. They all fly. It hits the deck. Carter's in the front posse. Goes down. Bernie Quinlan with a chance to get a hand pass. But there's no one there for. Oh, good play on the part of Harris, but couldn't get clear. There's too many there for the little fellow. And the umpires played a free kick out there to Ackley. There's Ricky Quaid. He'd be pretty happy at the moment.
Well, there'll be a lot of time on, Lou. We've had a fair few goals in this
I
term.
reckon about a 32-minute quarter, so there's about 4.5 minutes to go. That's Reece Jones driving it out wide to that half-forward flank. Morrow in front of the great mark. By golly, he's come to life too in this last quarter. Morwood goes for a long kick up there towards the full forward position. They go the punch. That's Pert at the back of the pack. There's a hand pass coming out to Carroll, well intercepted by Roos. Roos goes for the hand pass. Finally back it goes to Wilson. And Fitzroy go back into attack now. Oh, he lost it when he hung on too long. It's hold the ball. And a good tackle that time by Smith. 27 just on 28 minutes gone. And still the difference 10 points in favour of the Sydney Swans. The ball out wide to their half-forward line. And it's Round with the ball. Could be a 15-metre penalty. Round goes down. I think he's down with exhaustion. Barrier. That was the longest one he's had for many years.
A great play by Round. He took off from the full forward areas with Robert Walls. A very worried Walls at this stage with 28 minutes gone. But there'll be a few minutes of time on with so many goals in this quarter.
I reckon there'll be about a 32-minute quarter, so it'll be about 4 minutes to go. There's still 10 points in front as the ball is kicked up there by Round. Up towards the full forward position. The ball hits the deck. It's Hansel coming out. Hooks the ball back towards the full forward position. There's a chance for Morrow, and he's got it. And he's only about 15 metres out from goal, directly in front. And of course, if he kicks this one, it's all over bar the shouting for the Swans. 113 plays, 103. So this will make it 16 points the difference. Browning saying, get out and give him a bit of fresh air, have a shot here. In comes Morwood, lining them up. And it's a goal. So at the 29-minute mark of this quarter, it's 17 goals, 17-119, the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy, 15-13-103.
Well, they've certainly responded to the support of this crowd. As on the replay, we see Colin Hansel hook it over the shoulder, and Morwood, in this last 10 minutes, Morwood has been a wonderful player.
He certainly has, and he has been playing in front, Bob. Basic stuff, but it's paid off.
Well, I think the whole side has done that exactly that in this last 10 minutes.
119 to 103. The Sydney team coming away in the final term. Ricky Quaid would be a little bit happier, I guess, at the moment. The side has answered the challenge. Knocked away by Torbett. Chance for Brady. Smith is in there. No one making any headway, and the umpire has decided on a bounce. 29:50. Time elapsed in the final term. Probably 2 minutes left for play. Fitzroy will need to get a goal here very quickly if they're to have any chance. And I don't think they can do it. Coleman knocked away by Roberts. Ackley is there. Ackley's kick out towards centre wing. Young Burke having his first run as a senior player for Fitzroy. Here's his first possession. A hand pass to Logan, one of Fitzroy's best players. Roberts attempted smother, not successful. Conlon. Nettlefold. Hand pass into the open spaces. Wilson. Wilson at right half forward. High kick looking for Scott, who's got plenty of opposition. Roos, the rebound, off the side of the foot. Conlon can't get there before it's out of bounds. It bounced about a millimetre inside, and Mickey Conlon not too happy. And a boundary throw-in will take place right forward pocket for Fitzroy. Scott and Torbett, who, as you said before, Lou, has hardly been off the ball all day. Great effort. It's thumped away by Danaher. Knocked further out of bounds. Rhys Jones. So they moved it about 10 metres away from the goal. Siren due any tick of the clock now. 31 minutes have gone. Crowd thinking that was a siren. It was somebody blowing a hooter. Picked up by Cruz at left half back. Beautiful balk to get around Logan. A fine smother. Rebound comes to Wilson. Hand pass over the top to Glenn Coleman. Beautiful kick in towards full forward. Quinlan at the back. Knocked down by Carroll. McMahon, snapshot. Out of bounds or behind. It's the latter. 1 point to Fitzroy when they badly needed goals. 119 to 104.
31 and a half minutes gone. 15 points the difference in favour of the Sydney Swans. There's a fella left unattended out there. That's Cruz. Short pass again. And it's Ackley with the ball out there at half back. Well, they're going easy now, the Sydney Swans, and I would say they're certain to win this match as we see Holden take the mark out there on the centre wing position, just on the 32-minute mark, and the siren due to go any tick of the clock. Been a fine comeback by the Swans in this last quarter. At the back is Morrow, but the big fella Brady's got it down there on that half-forward flank, about 55 metres out to go. There's the long kick down there towards the forward pocket. Flying high that time was Peak to take a mark on the back post. Waiting for the ball to come back into play. Short pass down there to Nettlefold at half. Well, it's a siren, and the Sydney Swans have won it. 17 goals, 17-119 the Sydney Swans to Fitzroy, 15-14-104.
Well, a great win. That should put them round about the 4th or 5th place on the premiership ladder now. Thank you, Bob, in 5th place. Major goal kickers for the Swans. Evans 4, Frangaris 2, Round 2, Ackley 2 to Fitzroy, 3 to Scott, 3 to Wilson, 2 to Harris, 2 to Conlon, 2 to Quinlan and 2 to Roos. A great game.
It's a wonderful game of football. I think midway through that final term, it looked as though Fitzroy were going to go right on with the game, and full marks to the Swans, the way that they did come back. Barry Round responded magnificently. Gary Pert had by far had the better of Round in that first 3 quarters, but Round with a couple of goals. Talbot did well in the ruck, but the whole side responded to the applause of the crowd, and it would be a very disappointed Fitzroy, because they did look as though they were going to go on with the game.
That takes us out from the Sydney Cricket Ground. More football on Tuesday night for many viewers on the 7 Network when the Sterling Cup continues at VFL Park. Stand by now for motor racing highlights from Calder in Melbourne.